me a letter written by the dean. The dean said, if your grades don't get any better, you're going to be thrown out of this school. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I said, look, there's only one thing you can do. You have to have your brains replaced. That makes sense, doesn't it? She says, how am I going to do that? I said, well, you go to a surgeon, he'll unscrew the top of your head, put that down, get the new brains out of a package, put the old down, put the new ones in, screw the top back on, and here you are. She said, well, how am I going to get that done? I said, well, I'll make an appointment for you with a neurosurgeon whom I know. So I called the office and I made an appointment for her. I said, come back, let me know what he said. So this last Friday, she comes back. She says, the surgeon says I can get new brains, but it's very expensive. I said, so what does it cost? She says, well, there's a brain that used to belong to a lawyer. He's got it under formaldehyde for $60,000. I said, in heavens sake, there's a lot of money, but it may be worth it to you to get a degree. Yeah, she says, very important because my parents are mad at me. My boyfriend says I'm a moron. I said, okay, what else is there? She says, well, there are 2 more levels of brains. I said, well, what are the others? She says, the next level up from a former doctor costs $80,000. I said, well, maybe the doctors are more intelligent than the lawyers, so it costs more. I said, but you said it was another level? She said, yeah, top level, $100,000 brain from former professor. I said, yeah, that's right. We professors have more brains than all the doctors and all the lawyers and all the more than everybody. She says, wait a minute, not so fast. I said, what do you mean? She said, I asked the surgeon, why does the brain of a professor cost so much more than that of a doctor and a lawyer? And the surgeon said, it costs so much more from a professor than doctor, lawyer, because it's never been used.
Never been used.
Well, anyway,
it's very true.
Yeah. It is 2009. 100 years ago, 1909, a whole lot of Jews came from Eastern Europe wearing beards, pious earlocks, black hats, black clothes. Came from Russia. They all had walked all the way from Russia to Hamburg in Germany and took a boat from there to New York. It was a nice day in June, and the ship arrived in the New York dock. And this fellow arrived there with so many other of these Russian Jews, all wearing all these clothes, the beard, the payas. And his brother came to meet him at the dock. And his brother had been here 6 months, and he's also wearing a black hat, black clothes, payas. He says to his brother, oh, I'm so glad to see you. We haven't seen each other in 6 months. But you know, I want you to come to my apartment, of course. But it's a nice day. We'll have to walk. He said, today is Shabbos. We can't ride. His brother Moise said, of course, we can't ride. We'll walk. It's a nice day. So they walk. They come to a little park. And the little park, some benches around. And there are people sitting on the benches in this very beautiful day. There's one fellow sitting there. He's got red trousers and a green Hawaiian shirt hanging out of his trousers. He's bald, he's got no hair on, he's smoking a big cigar, and he's reading a Yiddish newspaper. The newcomer says to his brother, oh, how wonderful it is for us Jews in America. His brother says, you've been here 10 minutes, how do you know that? He says, look, in this country, even the Goyim read Yiddish. You've heard of Bill Clinton, right? Yeah. Bill Clinton? Of course. Bill Clinton is famous for many things. So one day, Bill Clinton is sitting on a plane in Arkansas, Little Rock, and he's on a flight to New York. So there are people walking up, getting in the plane. There was a seat empty next to him, and he's looking down the aisle there, and all these people are coming on. There's this beautiful woman walking up this aisle of the plane. Was a seat empty next to him? He's hoping she's a gorgeous woman next to him. And sure enough, she does. Sits down right next to him, and he couldn't believe well enough alone. He can't. He's got to get involved in this. So he says to the lady, are you flying to New York on business or on vacation? She said, it's all business. He says, what's your business? She says, I'm the president of a national organization, and I'm going to give the keynote address at this convention. So he says, what is the organization called? She says, it's called Nymphomaniacs of America. Oh, he went, wow, oh my goodness, gorgeous. He said, Nymphomaniac, he's got to do something about that. He says, what's the name of the speech? She says, the speech is called Myth and Reality in Sex. So he says, what's the myth? She says, the myth is that Italian men are the greatest lovers and Frenchmen are the greatest in bed. That's a myth. So he says, what's the reality? She says, the reality is Jewish men are the greatest lovers and Native Americans are the greatest in bed. Incidentally, what's your name? He says, Tonga Goldberg. A Jewish kid is sent to Kadima, Jewish school. The kid has been there 4 weeks. The headmaster calls up, he says to the parents, you know what? I don't want him here. He is terrible. He doesn't do his homework. He's always late. He's a bully. He picks on other children. He's abominable. Out. We don't want him. I don't care what you pay, you can't stand this kid. The parents are all upset. They spend all this money. They but well, this kid behaves so bad. What are they going to do? So they decide to send him to a private school. He goes to the private school. They spend a lot of money. Takes 4 weeks, gets kicked out. Headmaster calls up, says the kid fights, the kid's late, he's sassy to the teachers, he doesn't do his homework, he's terrible, out! So what are they going to do? Send him to a public school. The public school is even worse. Not only they don't throw him out, they send him to the juvenile court. They can't stand it. Parents are up to what to do. There's only one more thing they can do. There's only one more kind of school, Catholic school. So send the Jewish kid to the Catholic school. The Monsignor calls up and he says, do you have any other children? They say, yeah, we have. The Monsignor says, please send us the other children. Your boy is the most wonderful student we ever had. They can't believe it. The Monsignor says, yeah, he does all his homework. He even helps others with the homework. He helps children with the fight. He's respectful to all the teachers. He's just a wonderful kid. The kid comes home, the parents don't understand this. They say, you were kicked out of the Jewish school. You got thrown out of the public school. You got kicked out of the private school. How come you make it out so well in the Catholic school? The kid says, you ought to see what's hanging on the wall.